Everyone here knew Donna at some point in her life, yet there are likely things you don't know about her. We can't cover everything about Donna's life in the few minutes we have, but we will share what we can. Doreen and I have worked together to recall special things about Donna. Our dear little sister was born April 22, 1958, in New York City and spent most of her youth living in the Bronx. She was always the quiet one of Salvador and Ida's four daughters. She didn't begin to talk until she was about 5 years old and didn't speak much even after that. Donna would quietly watch as life happened. She was born with health issues and was sickly all of her life. But even as a child, she never complained or shared her pain. She was compassionate, kind, and loving, except when we made her mad at us. Look out. Usually Doreen or I ended up in a fetal position on the floor, covering our heads. She could give a look to kill, and then the biggest, happiest smile ever. Despite being the quiet one, she enjoyed her life and had a silly side. I guess we all did and still do. Growing up in the Bronx, friends were important. Some of our favorite things to do was to go to the beach, gather with our friends, or travel to an assembly together. Joanne Nieves was one of her best friends growing up before moving to Texas. Sadly, she passed away the same day as Donna. We will miss her too. In 1981, Mom and Donna moved to Dallas. Here is some Texas-style fun. Scarecrow or farm girl? I think farm girl. I'm not sure what she did to get in this situation, but hopefully she convinced the officer to release her. She really enjoyed traveling and meeting new friends. Despite moving from Texas to Oklahoma and then to Mississippi, Donna kept in touch with her friends by exchanging cards. One friend said, over the years, the cards she received were always positive. Another friend said, I always enjoyed Donna's humor. I loved the fact that she was never negative, nor did she talk about how ill she was. She was a strong woman, and I loved her for it. Family was important to her also, and while she couldn't travel much in recent years, she stayed in close contact with all of us, including her brother and sister from Puerto Rico, Neil and Melanie, as well as her cousins Tommy and Eric. Donna displayed a generous heart, and many of us here today have experienced her thoughtfulness. Did you ever receive a crocheted scarf or hat? Or maybe a handmade dress for your little one? Or possibly a quilted blanket? I certainly did. Every year she would send a new scarf and hat to my daughter and granddaughter. Doreen said she found joy in being able to crochet hats and scarves for many of the brothers and sisters she came to know over the years. At the age of 17, Donna dedicated her life to serve Jehovah God and was baptized. It was the most important day of her life. Her faith and relationship with Jehovah God never wavered, even as her health began to fail. When COVID restrictions began to ease and we were able to meet again at the Kingdom Hall, she was determined to attend in person and assist in a Bible study demonstration with Doreen. It was both difficult and painful. It took 3 brothers to help her get on stage. Her determination and love for God won out. Right up to the end, Donna took the time to write letters to as many people as possible so they could hear something encouraging and hopefully from the Bible. She wanted to share her hope for the future. Some of her letters were concerning the future of the earth or the resurrection. In one letter, she quoted Psalms 119, verse 144. Give me understanding so I may keep living. Her letter asked the question, what happens at death? She knew, and discussed the importance of studying the Bible. Why? To show what we need to live forever. Doreen and I look forward to the time of seeing her again, healthy, beautiful, and with her big smile, "We would love for you to be there too."